Welcome to Cardboard Content, where we aim to develop our skills and grow the competitive Commander community. Hey guys, it's me Benedict. Thank you for joining me here on another week. We got a cool game for you guys, but before that, I'd like to promote our next event happening at Darkside Games. It's for MatchCon tickets. I'll give you more details after the game. We start in the upper left hand corner with Quest playing Loot starting hand of 7. Then we have me with Hashaton starting at 7. And then Lance with Magda also with 7. And then Sebastian with 7 and he is playing Inalla. Quest starts off with a Wooded Foothills into a Mox Opal, then casts Mox Diamond, pitching a Emergent Zone. Then passes to me. I start off with a Misty Rainforest, play a Chromox, imprint a Lotho, fetch up a Tundra, and then cast my Commander Hashaton. I pass to Lance, plays a Mountain into an Enslaved Dwarf. He passes to Sebastian. Sebastian casts Gataxian Probe, targets me, then plays Forbidden Orchard. On Sebastian's end step, Quest cracks Wooded Foothills, then plays Tapped Hedge Maze, surveils and keeps the card on top. On Quest's turn, he plays Mana Confluence, then Thunder Trap Trainer. With Thunder Trap Trainer, he reveals a Lotus Petal, and then he casts the Lotus Petal, and it passes turn to me. I cast a Grand Abolisher, move into combat, and attack Sebastian. Play Bazaar of Baghdad, and then pass turn to Lance. On Lance's turn, he plays Mutavault, then casts his Commander Magda. Moves into combat and attacks Sebastian and then nets a treasure, and then passes turn to Sebastian. On Sebastian's turn, he plays an Ancient Tomb and then passes turn to Quest. On Quest's turn, he plays his own Ancient Tomb into his Commander Loot, then moves into combat and attacks Sebastian with Loot and Thunder Trap Trainer. On Quest's end step, I activate Bazaar of Baghdad and discard a Polluted Delta, Steel Enchantment, and a Necropotence. And it passes turn to me. I play Underground Sea, then cast Rhystic Study. Move into combat, then attack Sebastian with my Grand Abolisher. On Lance's turn, he plays Barbarian Ring, then casts Mana Vault, triggers Rhystic Study, I draw, then plays Smuggler's Copter, triggers Rhystic Study again, I draw once more. With the remaining Mana Vault mana, he activates Mutavault, crews Smuggler's Copter, and gets a treasure with Magda. On Sebastian's turn, he plays Verdant Catacombs, and then passes turn again. On Sebastian's end step, Quest, he activates Loot to draw 3 cards. Sebastian responds by cracking his Verdant Catacombs to search up by Underground Sea. On Quest's 4th turn, he plays Breeding Pool into a Felwar Stone, triggers my Rhystic Study, I draw, then activates Loot to get 3 mana. Uses the 3 mana to cast Eldritch Evolution, sacking Loot, triggering my Rhystic Study, and he puts a Hullbreaker Horror into play. He casts Cyclonic Rift, targeting my Rhystic Study, and triggering my Rhystic Study, triggering his Hullbreaker Horror, and then targeting his Mox Opal. I draw, it resolves, he bounces his Mox Opal, then recasts his Mox Opal. With Hullbreaker's trigger, he chooses Lotus Petal. I respond by tapping Bazaar. I discard a Diamond Lion, Verdant Catacombs, and Arcane Signet. Sebastian casts Force Will, targeting the Mox Opal, pitching a Thassa's Oracle. Quest responds back with a Deflecting Swat, triggering Hullbreaker Horror and retargeting Lotus Petal. With Hullbreaker Horror, Lotus Petal, and Mox Opal, Quest proceeds to make infinite mana of any color he wants. Then he can proceed to cast his Commander Loot and bolt out the board by continually bouncing Loot and then tapping it, activating it, and then recasting the Mox Opal to bolt the whole table. Good job, Quest, on pulling that off. I honestly did not see a Hullbreaker Horror coming into play and you winning the game. Anytime someone tutors a creature into play, it is very spooky. Endgame summation. Starting off with me, I did gamble on a hand hoping I would get a win con. All I had was draw engines. I had the Bazaar of Baghdad and the Rhystic Study. I was hoping the Rhystic Study and the Bazaar would pay off and get me a win con or even some interaction, but unfortunately I didn't get there. Lance was on pace. He was potentially gonna win the following turn, And Sebastian, besides looking at my hand with the Gitaxian probe and casting a Force of Will, he didn't do much. He was probably looking for colored mana sources. I don't know what was going on in his hand, unfortunately. Personally, I like to use Gitaxian probe before I'm going off. One, to see someone's hand, or if I cast it at top deck tutor so I can rip that card off the top with a free spell to draw a card. If you enjoyed this type of gameplay, we have more coming up, or you can participate in one in our event. Darkside Las Vegas Magic Con Hype. It is a top deck championship series on May 31st at 12 p.m. Entry is only $15. Rounds is based on attendance. First through fourth will get a premium weekend pass, and then first place will also get an additional $50. So come down to Darkside Games and play in our event. Better than spending $170 on a premium pass when you can get your chance to win one. So head to topdeck.gg or darksidegames.com for more information. Both are linked down below. Also down below is my other social medias. Please go check those out. I've been posting a lot of memes and shorts for all you guys to enjoy. And also, if you want to support the channel like these supportive people, we have our Patreon. Now, of course, to shout out my patrons who keep this going. Starting off with our content consumers, our tier 2 patrons, Big Yoda, Marcus, Dylan, Troy, Rodrigo, and Gwendolyn. Moving on to our top tier cardboard cutouts, we have Wong, Matt, Albert, and Joyner. Thank you everyone for your continued support. If you want to support the channel, please join me at patreon.com/cardboardcontent. See you next time for more content.